I partnered with Barry's in August this year, and before that I'd been practicing as a psychotherapist for about 8 years, and I moved into mental health consultancy, specifically in the fitness industry in the summer. When Barry's approached me, I was really excited and had lots of questions about how the brand could bring mental health into what they were doing, because I wanted to make sure that this was something they were going to roll forward into the brand rather than it just being a one-time campaign. But it certainly fitted with what I was doing, which was this idea that you can work out for your mental health, not just for your physical health. Your mental health workout is something that I wrote. It's an Instagram product primarily. It's a workout for your mind, but structured like a physical workout, so that it's really easy to digest and understand, because there are tons of mental health accounts and social media posts and pieces of advice out there, but they don't actually give you a sort of organized way of working on your mental health and the different parts of mental health in the same way that we have around physical health. So I was really interested to create something that actually filled that gap, hence your mental health workout. It's a really refreshing experience for me to be doing this, because I come from an industry where we're often working with problems. So to be working with people who are at baseline and just want to be happier and better and fulfill their lives more is an absolute gem. What I've learned again, and I learn this lesson continuously, is that everyone is fighting their own battle. And I know it's a bit of a cliche, but when I met the Lucky Seven and I got talking to them, I was like, everyone has got something going on. Everyone has got something that needs a bit of emotional support. And I would have passed these people in class, or I would have seen them out on the street, and I would have assumed, as people do, including myself, that they were okay. And actually every single one of them had something that they needed emotional and psychological support around. So I was humbled again to learn that everyone has got a need to look after their mental health. There's certainly a movement towards the idea that the brain, the mind is part of our body, that the mind and the body are one, and the way that we look after physical health should be applied to mental health as well. And I would love gyms across the board to have people like me on hand to help them just bring in some of the resources into their specific branding, I guess, because the thing about mental health is that it is slightly different to physical health in that it is much more nuanced, and a bit like a physical trainer would say to you, we need to adjust this, we need to modify this to fit you. Mental health is the same, but it's just a little bit more difficult to get to because we can't see it. So people who are trained to sense and see particular things about people, I would love to see being brought on board to places that train people physically across the country so that we can really get this kind of physical and mental health thing working together, working alongside each other. Actually, when people work on their mental health, when people do the resources and the mental health exercises, the mental health workouts that I've given them, their performance in class improves. I've seen people beat their personal bests. I've seen people do things that they didn't think they could do because they're changing the way that they're talking to themselves, and they're changing how they're approaching their feelings and their emotions, and those long-standing narratives that we tell ourselves about what we believe about ourselves, they start to change, and then all of a sudden what you're capable of starts to change, and you've got all this potential that you can fulfill that you didn't even know you had. That I find amazing.